Hey guys, it's Rusty Nelson, your college art professor, and today is drawing day and we are working on an ink sketch. It's mid-June and I'm feeling a little much like it's mid-June and I'm feeling like a winter scene and a winter barn scene no less. So I found a nice reference I thought we could work up. Again, it's working with 2-point perspective, and with ink, we're just dealing with line and line characters. So a lot of textures we'll be able to control and giving a sense of modeling and value and textures. So everything. All right, so it's an old barn. So we're drawing an old barn in ink today with a lot of textures and working with ink, line only. So this should be fun. So let's get started. All right, so this is our reference we're going to be working with. I'm going to be working this little sketchbook right here. Nice scene with the barn. We have some nice angles to it, snow drifts, lots of textures, and we should have a lot of fun with this. Some tree lines in the background, a mountain. So let's get started on this. All right, so first and foremost, we need to get this kind of going. I'm drawing with just a Pilot gel pen. All right, so it's nothing fancy, just going to be coming in here and we're going to be sketching. So I've got a bit of an angle right here, and then we're going to get an angle for this roof line. So we're just going to bring it in about right to there, and we'll get that tall, steep angle on the roof right here. And the same thing over here. I'm looking at it and we should get just a slight bit of perspective going on that one. These angles should be fairly parallel on the angle of the roof right to here. All right, and then it's going to come down. I'm going to quickly get that bank kind of established right here. Okay, it's going to come right down, and then the barn foundation comes out over here, and we've got a bit of an overhang on that. Cool. And we'll just throw a little more out that way, and then it comes on down this direction. All right, so we got a pretty good panel right there so far, and that's the peak right there. I'm going to come down, find the center point just directly underneath it. All right, and then there's the opposite end, plus there's that little lean-to, so I got a couple of points that I can work with there. All right, so I'm going to pull this one up. We'll probably disguise that in some textures, and then that lean-to comes out right like that. All right, so we have the barn established pretty quick right there. We also have a mountain, hilltop, side of a mountain coming up that direction, and then we also have a mountain right there. We'll just sketch that in real lightly, and we have a bit of it coming back over here as well. So we do have quite a bit of it already kind of established, right like that. And the next state, I'm going to come in, I'm going to get the underneath eave right there and to right there, get the right angles there, establish that edge a little better. We do have a door right in here, and that door is angling this direction. There we go. I'm going to get a little darker right there. And we have a small window over here. We just kind of block it in with shapes. And then we'll add the sills. There we go. We have a great shadow under here. Plus we have a remnant of a shed that was attached right here. So that's kind of a textural thing. We'll just throw it in over here. And it comes down right there. And there was a door into the other structure that is no longer there. So we'll just come in and draw essentially the shadow line right there. Right there. All right. So we have textures galore here that we can work with. Looks like there's boards, steps coming up into that right there. All right. There's definitely some sort of a remnant of the previous structure right there. Even right over here. Boards are fun. These old buildings are just a hoot. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna establish main boards here first. So they're going to be a little darker. I want to vary the width on them just to establish a rhythm, a pattern to it. Again, just working structural elements up first, and then we'll come after values. So these are specific boards. I'm going to just break them up a little bit. Cool. Same drill over here. I do have kind of want to kind of work in like a rotted spot right there. And there seems to be another window right in here. There's a lot of texture stuff going on right there. I'll just block it in real quick. There's the corner of the building. That'll serve a good function. And we'll just build out that. Okay, so same drill over here. And we're just doing textures. These textures will also become a form of modeling, ultimately. That door is going to have some texture. Cool. All right, so we're starting to get some pretty cool looking things happening. And it gives me enough that I can start working, start popping in contrasts and values. And if you're working this as you're on scene, on location, all of these, you're trying to do it quickly, right? So we got a fairly dark area right up under here. This edge right along here is going to be extremely dark, so we'll just punch that up. Gets really dark right up over here on this corner. Right down in here. Up, totally blew the wispy snow there, so it's all right. We'll just ignore it. I think it'll pull off and look pretty good without it. And then there's a tree back here, so let's get that tree started. There we go. Just get a tree shape kind of working together there. And then there is that hill in the background. I'm going to do that real quick, just a little value. Make that read right. I'll kick up the contrast right there on the snow edge. All right. And right up here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw a little more texture, a little more shadow right along that remnant shape of the old shed right here. It's going to have a little more value line. And then even under here where this floor was, I'm going to just throw a little more value there. Cool. And it is darker right up in here. I'm going to create a better edge for that snow. A little darker. And then all the fun starts to happen. I'm going to get just a little bit of that roof line right there. All right, now I'm going to come in and I'm going to work in that shadow, that under the eave shadow. This is directional marks for value and double duty as a little textural. And it gets denser and darker over here. Bigger. Different shape. Comes in over here. Cool. There we go. Right down here on that foundation, I want to make it a little darker. Okay. Right up along that edge. And then right down here, I'm going to just bring it down a little darker right along the snow edge. I'm going to work on that bank a little more. All right. And then we definitely have a nice tree line. I'm going to come in and work on that right there, right along in here. Just try to get a nice irregular shape. I'm going to focus in and try to get that single pine to read right in here. Okay. Got another bank over here. All right, and then there's even a secondary layer of trees right in here. I'm just treating it as value, and it's really dark right here. I'm going to kick it up right in through here. There we go. So we can get a little more specific tree shapes and angles right up here. Keep trees angular. They read better that way. And then there's a nice brushy base right there along that edge. I'm going to throw that out a little more. There we go. Same drill back in here. This is texture, value, and descriptive lines. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to switch direction on this hill. And I'm going to keep it light. But I'm using its line as value, but it's also, I'm using it as directional. Give an indication of the slope of that hill. All right, and then back here, I'm going to come back and go to a vertical stroke, very light, very quick, very descriptive. I'm not worried about the runs or the crevices of the hill. I'm just using this as a distance device. I'll throw a little more right up in here on this. There we go. All right. And we are getting a bit of, I'm actually using the paper. The paper roughness is interacting nicely with this gel pen, so I can get just a real crunchy value going right there. So, and there's just a bit of it up here as well. So I'm just going to kind of scrub just a little bit of it right there on the roof and right up here as well. I'm just going to scrub it out into the negative space right there. And we have those lightning rods. There's 4 of them. So we'll just try to get them roughly evenly spaced right there. All right, so there we go. I could sit here and keep working on this. This whole side needs to be a little darker. I like this overall. It's on the shadow side, so I'm going to just make it a little bit darker. Hide some of that detail that I drew. There we go. Throw a little more structure. These are board grains and things right now. Cool. All right. And last but not least, I'm going to just kind of work in some cloud indications. It's kind of one of those steel gray days. All right, there we go. That's a quick little ink sketch, little urban sketch of a barn in winter in the mountains. We have trees, we have board textures, shadows, values, all sorts of good stuff in this quick little sketch. Give these a try. Get out there and do as many of these as you can. You'll get better at it and get more confidence. And if you got any value out of this tutorial, please give me a like and a subscribe. Head over to my video description. I have all sorts of affiliate links out there for supplies and tools and stuff like that. If you buy anything from there, just remember I do get a small commission. And if you're looking for some figure drawing reference, head over to my website, links in the description, and you can download some Loomis and Bridgman figure drawing resources. And if you feel like you're getting any value out of this channel in general and you'd like to support it, please head over to my Patreon channel and give me a $5 a month membership. I truly do appreciate it. I want to keep these lessons and tutorials coming for everybody, and that kind of support helps a lot. Thank you. I do appreciate it. You're the best. See you in the next tutorial.